we always ask you about Martin, but Denny isn't. You all haven't announced anything yet for Denny for next year. How close are you on that?
Yeah, Denny's here for the next 10 years. You know, that's what I'm announcing. No, really, we're working on everything at our place, but we know Denny's going to be here.
Zach Sterniello, NASCAR.com. Coach, how would you describe Denny at this phase of his career and how he's evolved as a driver from, obviously it's been a long time, 17, 18 years
Yes.
at this level. How would you describe Denny at this stage?
I think Denny is really patient. I see him. He's a vet. He understands it, and I think he understands how to win. And he's been a great representative for us. And the other thing I've always admired about Denny, he has been so loyal to us, our family. We had a picture there taken in the winner's circle where JD used to come up behind Denny and squeeze him, and Denny had me come up there and do that. I just appreciate Denny in every way. Our family, he means a lot to us. And so we really appreciate him and appreciate our friendship.
Go to Chris Knight next.
Chris Knight, catchfans.com. Gibbs, Coach, how do you feel about the strength of JGR at this moment going with the playoffs on the horizon in both the Xfinity Series and then the Cup Series yesterday? The winner, JRM, felt like that Joe Gibbs was going to be the team that they had to beat.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited right now. Our Xfinity program is really, really coming along. Our ARCA program, we love that. And we're all in on ARCA, Xfinity, and Cup, obviously. And I think right now in Cup, we got off to kind of a slow start this year, but I think we're starting to gain momentum. And everybody knows this is a critical time right here, next 5 races down to the playoffs. And so, but I do feel like right now that we're kind of making up for our slow start, I think.
We'll take 2 more for Coach, and we'll go right here in the middle.
Coach Eddie Kalegi, Motorsports Today. Congrats on the win. Managing a 4-car team, I mean, that's never easy to keep all 4 cars consistent and mixing and matching sort of. Last week, Christopher and Martin, so strong. Martin gets the win. This week, as we've talked about, 3 cars in the top 5. So as much as winning races is key, how important is it for you guys to be, as a program, having all 4 cars consistent and strong each and every week?
Well, one of the things I love about NASCAR is the fact that it is so hard, and it is for us, it's 4 cars having to work together. And that's hard, to get that done. But at the same time, that's the best way to go forward in NASCAR, working with your teammates. And so back at the race shop, we're all together. We work together. We get to the race track and try and solve problems together. Once the race starts, we've proven that over a period of time. Everybody's on their own. And so, but I do think that's one thing I appreciate about NASCAR. It's extremely hard. It's unlike any other sport. You got to get four teams working together. And so far our guys have got a good chemistry with that, and they understand the sport. And I think they're veteran guys that understand working with 4 teams is the way to solve problems. Thank y'all.
One more, Coach, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yep, just one more.
Adam Dropper, Motorsports Today. Coach, you already touched on Denny's value to JGR a little bit, but what are the emotions right now, seeing him win his 50th Cup win for you guys?
I think all the way back to when Denny first came on board. I still remember that. JD found him, and he's racing late models, and came down, and everything from the test to racing a truck, that we put him at Darlington in an Xfinity car, everything he got in, he just took right off. And JD said to me, I think we need to sign this guy. And I said, I think you're right. And then we actually the story is we went through 1/2 of a year with Denny racing Xfinity. And we were struggling with our Cup car. And we put him in there. And it's been, we're going on 18 years. So it's been a great deal for us, great a great deal for Joe Gibbs Racing to have Denny there for that period of time, and the way he's taking care of FedEx and everything. And we just really appreciate him and the way he deals with this. He's a real pro. Well, I would just say we love coming to Pocono, honestly. Every time we start getting ready for this race, I think our people all feel like they have real confidence. I think Denny has been fantastic here. But in general, we just love coming up here. It was a great crowd today, fan base, and we appreciate everybody here. And it seems like this Pocono brings out the best in us. And so just really appreciate it, and appreciate all the support and everything from our team and our guys back home. I hate it when everybody that works on the cars and everything back home, they don't get to be in the winner's circle with us. It's a huge deal for our sponsors. We had a new sponsor today in Mavis. It's a huge deal for us. We got FedEx there. We got all the other sponsors that kind of sponsor our car. Interstate Batteries for sure. Norm is always with us in the winner's circle. So as you guys know, our sport's different than any other sport. We have to have sponsors, and they're more than sponsors, they're partners. And so it's great when you get a new sponsor coming in the sport, and that was the case today.
Okay, if you have a question for Coach Gibbs, please raise your hand. We'll get your mic. We'll start up here, and then move to Shane. Yep, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Coach Gibbs, Ty is really coming on. I mean, last year he won, I think it was a truck race at Michigan. He's won a few times since then. It just seems like he's getting better and better all the time. I imagine he's on some kind of timeline, or he's went through a lot in the last year, but it looks like he's found a way to persevere.
Yeah, well, the thing that this is all Ty's ever wanted to do from the time he was 2. This is what he's wanted to do. And so he knows that you got to handle things the right way, and you got to race your way up. You can't talk your way up. You can't buy your way up. You can't. And so he's totally fixed on doing this. And so we're proud of him. We think he's made good progress, and we got a real good team around him. Chris Gale is just awesome. And so I think we got a good team there. And I know it's fun being the granddad to watch him. And I wish Coy was here. Coy kind of orchestrated his whole racing career. From the time he was in go-karts all the way up, Coy was the one that directed things. And so we miss him terribly.
Go to Shane.
Coach Shane Hector, Underground Sports. What does this mean for you to see, is it both your grandson and Denny in the top 5? What does this mean for Joe Gibbs Racing to see both cars successful today?
Well, I think what he says, this is so hard to do. And, it's the best people in the world. Racing cars is extremely hard. That's the reason why we just brought up the point there of Ty. When you step up the cup, it normally takes a long time, to get to a point where you can race with the guys up front and win. And so it's just hard. And so I think because of that, when you get a chance to have a day like we had today, I think I'm really, really proud of our whole team and everybody back home. And we hang a banner tomorrow in our shop, and I get a chance to thank all those people. But it's a huge deal for all of us, our sponsors. Like I said, I call in FedEx, and our, I think it kind of makes me realize how fortunate I am to be a part of this, and I appreciate the people that we have around us as a part of our team.
Go to Marty. Marty, raise your hand, please. Behind you.
It's Cala Rock Sports Net Race Pro Weekly. Coach over here, you just mentioned it, first race with Mavis on the car. How big of a deal is that for them to win in their first race?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. I told them, okay, you got to come back every week now. And I said, this happens every week. This is it every week. I'm not sure they bought that. But, no, it's great to have a new sponsor like that, somebody that's a real powerful company, and to get them on the car, and then to have Denny give us a win. It was a great day, to be truthful, and hopefully that gets them excited too.
Second, obviously, you got to wait for post-race tech to finish up, but to have one get away from you last year, come back to victory lane this year unofficially, how sweet is that?
It is. It is sweet. And, yeah, that was a bitter disappointment for us last year. And so hopefully today it's not going to be the case. We get through inspection, and but we really enjoyed the day. And Denny drove his rear off, and we had, Martin was up there for the bigger part of the day. Christopher came all the way back and did a great job too. And then we had Ty. So it was a big day for us.
Go to Bob.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. I have two. The first, obviously Larson wasn't happy with Denny's move, but I'm curious, is that more aggression that you've seen out of Denny than you have previously?
No, I think I always like to have the drivers speak to that. They're the ones in the car. Denny's the guy in there. So I think, sometimes you wind up in those last laps with a lot happening, and certainly it did today. So I'll let Denny kind of address that, everything that happened there.